My reasoning?
If that's the case, then if Cowell hadn't entered the tunnel, who was the entire... Assuming that what you say is true, Lenny only needed...
Oh.
Oh, well, you're saying that he wasn't?
That's right! Lenny, this means that the saying clue...
To think you'd use such logic. Well then, if it wasn't Lenny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
The deceased's name is Cowell.
Huh? That can't be right. Are you serious? The killer was, in fact, Cowell, the deceased!
Oh, is that...
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from would-be perpetrator. Lenny was not in the tunnel at... The sound we heard may have come from a clash between the missing Halsey and the criminal. It would have been tough for both people to fit into that vent. They would likely have bumped into Lenny as well. Halsey's clothing was in the tunnel, so there must have been some fear that she would No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances, so where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is Cowell. No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances, so where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? It would have been tough for both people to fit it. The deceased's name is Halsey's clothing was in the... No one entered or...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble figuring things out?
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's If only we knew...
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel... And it's not like this is a magic trick.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Lenny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have... The deceased's name is... It would have been tough for both people to fit into... The vase was not broken.
Paimon gets it! It all comes together if Halsey did... Lynette escaped... If there's a...
Oh, just a moment, please. I do hope you know how preposterous you sound at the moment. How could a person ever be transformed into water? This is reality we're talking about. Must we really? I should think magic tricks are...
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of... Since Cal was the deceased, but given that we aren't making much progress with the case, it would...
people really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at the end...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at... Guards, please...
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress that we feel must be shared with everyone post-haste. We discovered several test tubes of fluid within Cowell's baggage, each labeled separately. The notebook in his backpack claims that these fluids are... water from the primordial sea.
The primordial sea.
The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had an accomplice. The notebook has many entries concerning... One of these tubes was labeled Opera. The notes also state that these... As such, we will...
You've got to be kidding!
It's something so ridiculous.
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prop.
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean... Just a minute. Could that mean...
Demoiselle, wait! What about your partner?
Let's go. Just...
Order! Order! It is undeniable that further examination of the... Still, guards, please, Mr. Linney.
Of course. If we uphold this hypothesis...
Right! Like the metal hook! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that water...
The deceased's name is Cowell, Linney's assistant. He would have been able to tamper with the equipment. The water from the primordial sea should already have been prepped before Halsey entered the magic box. I remember there was something else within the inner layer of that box. Lynette was in the magic box on stage the entire time. Did she have something to do with this? The deceased's name is Now it seems like the hook rope was not meant for another magic trick, but was instead some form of triggering mechanism. Now it seems like the rope that held the water tank up was lit by the fireworks and snapped. As such, the focus here is on the water and not the tank. Lynette was in the magic box on the water from the primordial I remember there was something else.
It's Ace Detective Paimon's time to shine again! In the original plan, Cowell would tamper with the water tank rope. The number selector securing his target. When the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, the water from the primordial seed inside it would pour down and dissolve Halsey. Afterward, Cowell would enter the tunnel and break the flower vase to conceal the water inside the tunnel. But he encountered...
But that actually lit...
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now.
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is the exact circumstances. His notes mentioned...
On that note, I shall now invite him on...
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people involved in this case. And we found an identical sample of the water from the primordial sea among Linny's personal effects.
What?
That can't be.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully comedic to have your own counterattack only to come. Does this not, my dear citizen? Linny did not need to take part in the dissolution, having made modification that upon him. Ultimately, he now, as much as I regret having... Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence. Is this the end of the road?
Oh no. Paimon can't think of anything either. It doesn't look like there's any way around this. Seems using the water as new evidence was too good a move.
I think we've all... I believe this is indeed the finale. Now then, my good, noble Chief Justice, should we not, in your view, move...
Excuse me, everyone, but I mustn't...
Miss, I must ask you not to shout, and to respect the ongoing legal proceeding.
Oh, come on. Don't be hasty. I have a good I'll show you an amazing... What?
No offense, miss, but...
Come on now, don't be... But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth? And wouldn't such a... Come on, but as the magic makers and stars of the show...
I understand.
And voila.
Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was afraid that I would be the one put on trial. I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin?
What? Why?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lillian, and I'm originally from Mondstadt. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real thriller, but I missed the chance to buy a ticket, so I stole one. That's how I make a living. I steal stuff here and there. And I'd never been caught before. But I was noticed at the harbor a few days ago, and I barely got away. Linny was the one who caught me in the act.
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So you were the thief. Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. That's a prison, isn't it? So you can imagine how shocked I was. I thought he was onto me for sure. So I played along with the show while looking for an opening to flee. But then I got water poured on me for no reason, and then someone jumped into the tunnel to nab me. I wasn't going to take that lying. There was nowhere to run from there. I slipped out after the first...
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I did it had I known that.
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, we need to... Lillian was afraid that she would be recognized if she... Seems this won't produce... The strange sound wasn't from a fight. It was Lillian's attempt to break out when... The flower...
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected, her panic only intense. Hearing the commotion, he did not know that mistakenly believed the two broke the flap. With no way of escaping, she changed her clothes and hid in the costume trunk until the that she would have to go through guard inspection if she tried to leave afterward. So, she has been trapped in the Opera House these last 2 days.
She had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting.
At this point, all the event...
So bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak against the defense's statements? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat.
Wow, look at that! She's like a deflated balloon.
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected his next victim from the audience reservation list. With some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-selected young woman would be chosen. To cover up any evidence while committing the deed, Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young woman was dissolved. He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank, using the fireworks at the end of the performance to cause the tank to drop and hide the watermarks. He poured the water from the primordial sea into a balloon during the preparation of the magic box and stuck it to the box's lid. Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when bringing the young woman to said box. When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting the balloon containing the water. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, Lillian was not from Fontaine, and thus fled the box with a loud noise. Realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and met Lillian. Thinking that the waters had not yet taken effect, he decided to proceed. However, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious, and placed into the magic box, and thus became his own final victim. Lillian, according to her own statements, then changed clothes and hid until the performance ended, before hiding in other parts of the opera house. As for Linny, he was in the underground structures within the opera house, and was thus ignorant of these happenings. From this reconstruction of events, we can conclude that
Hooray, Linny and Lynette!
While there is much in Linny and Lily, this case at least, As such, Linny and Lynette are officially declared not guilty.
Great work.
Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, I think we... How did you find the...
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake.
I suspect that the accomplice mentioned in Cowell's notes was not Linny, but you, yes? I'm sure you know what you must do to lessen your sentence.
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one-way ticket to Coupon.
I was just following orders. We were supposed to place blame for the serial disappearances onto Linny, and thus cause suspicion to fall on the Fatui. The higher-ups said this was the best opportunity to do so.
And now that your plan has fallen through, and the secrets of the water have been revealed, you have become a liability to said higher-ups, yes? Therefore, you would be wise to tell everything you know, and seek the protection of the guards.
Yes, I'll tell you everything I know. Our boss discovered that the water can cause people to dissolve. It can also be made into a potion, which when extremely diluted, can cause people to experience We've been in this business.
And now he can no longer talk.
Such ruthlessness. I shouldn't have expected any less of...
An outrageous act. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon! Please wait.
Linny...
I know you may not want to speak to me right now. Maybe you don't even want to look at me. But still, let me thank you again for defending me to the end, even after you learned that I'm a member of the Fatui. I guess. But regardless, I'd like the opportunity to set things straight. I didn't approach you with any ulterior motives or ill intent. I've spoken to you as myself, just plain Linny this entire time. As for why I'm a Fatus, it's because the goals of the House of the Hearth align with those of an orphan like me. That's all. That was how Father, who you might know as the Knave, approached recruiting us back then.
The Knave? The one who controlled...
That's right. Back when our parents first died, Lynette and I were left wandering the streets. To survive, I took to surreptitiously observing an older street performer who did magic. It took me several days to figure out how he pulled off his amazing tricks. I took my sister through several streets until we found a crowded corner. To my surprise, we proved to be pretty popular, and we could at least stop worrying about where our next meal would come from for it. Before long, an aristocrat came to me.
So you went from orphan...
That was how we felt at first, but I gradually discovered that while we were called foster children, he was really after my talent for magic tricks. He would constantly take me to all sorts of banquets to garner attention, which he would then use to expand his social circles.
That doesn't seem too bad either. Better than roaming the streets at any rate.
After one particular performance at a banquet, I waited a long time after we returned home, but the answer he gave me was...
Oh no. But wouldn't Fontaine's laws deal with such people?
As far as outsiders are concerned, I managed to ferret out the location of the mansion of that so-called eminent person, and all I saw was the...
So, she...
That's right. She had... Father, I mean, the House of the Hearth welcomes you. I was hesitant to trust, but she was also quick to...
Oh, so that's...
She has gained permission from the...
So...
That's right. The whole House of the Hearth is currently... Today's case has also all of us house members. To us orphans...
So, from small deeds like...
It's all right. I understand. The only thing I just hope you can understand, if you should need anything at all in the future, feel free to...
Bye, Linny!
Hey there. What was with the disappearing act you pulled right as the trial ended?
Were you looking for us, Navia?
Well, this whole thing isn't exactly over, is it? I do feel that we're... Huh? What's wrong, my dear partner?
Besides, are you sure we're the ones who can crack a case that's been cold for decades now? And given that there's new evidence from the trial, there should be a trail of breadcrumbs for the Hydro Archon's people to follow now, right?
Ah, I see. Well, I won't... Sorry.
Don't say that.
Aw, and we were having so much fun investigating with you, too. It was like having new... Wait, shall we...
Huh? Do we...
Well, Anyway, it would just be a meal.
You don't have to twist...
Oh, wonderful.
All right, then.
Guys.
I came here several times with my father when I was little. But...
Oh, don't worry.
In that case,
Ooh, everything looks so good.
Why, of course. Go ahead, try whatever you like. If the food's...
And if it's...
Well,
Yeah. Oh, we called this affair...
Oh, true.
Speaking of cases...
Well, We've certainly taken a big step forward.
If it hadn't happened...
Right? Yet it was in such investigations, even the smallest step can seem like a yawning chasm. To be honest, I don't have high hopes for any follow-up that the authorities might... It's not that I don't have faith. It's easy to guard, which is exactly why the Spina... Those highfalutin folk are not all-knowing. That's why we exist.
Seems
It's all right. Let's talk about something else. Like,
That's true. We didn't...
I see. I've heard that there's a long line.
Yeah. Guess that's Spina di Rosula's boss for you. Chuck.
Well, one way would be to infiltrate a performance troupe at the... I'm sure Lady Farina would be eager to see the ending, and would agree...
Could you suggest something up?
All right, here's another. I can personally testify that this one works. When I'm sleepy, I'll do anything as long as I can finally get some sleep.
That might work, but that's not really the problem. The problem is we don't want to get ourselves arrested.
Ah, valid point. I overlooked that part. I was just thinking about leveraging a person's desire for sleep. All right, no. You did defeat her in court, clearing citizens.
You mean that if we catch her, why don't we give it a try after?
Huh?
Was...
No, it's...
Alright.
Is that so? If we're all finished eating...
Yeah, we're... Hey, Navia! What?
Oh, nothing.
Let's get...
So this is goodbye, huh? Well, if you do encounter any other trouble in any case, I wish you...
See ya!
Guys.
Hyper-emotional element you're adding is just still... It needs a more romantic touch.
There aren't many people around anymore. Looks like that boat we took to Aranias might have been the last one.
Vache.
Looks like we're back here again. Huh? Traveler? Ugh.
Vache?
Hey, why are you still walking towards it? Huh? Hey, Traveler? Stop walking! Come on, wake up!
Vache, are you... my dear Vache? No, wait. You seem to be someone else. Do you know Vache? Do you know where my love is? I'm... Wait. Who am I? My memories feel... How much have I lost? How many things that I once held... Yes, that is what I was. I do not know how I came to be... No matter where I... But now... No! Our reunion no longer the thought of me. If you meet Vache, perhaps that is... If only I could have comforted him. Is that what you call it? It was a state of neither fear nor frenzy, with only... I could also liken it to being a thirsty person who drinks water for the first time. I think I hear your companion. Farewell then. I am glad that you were able to sense my presence. Remember, if you see Vache, tell him not to seek me out any longer.
Demoiselle, look out!
Dear God, it's a whole army of Gardamex. Chlorand?
Quick, now's our chance!
I should thank you for lending us your sword there, Chlorand. But before... I believe that following...
Mr. Callus's last wish...
Do not!
Sorry, Demoiselle.
Thank you for your aid.
Sorry,
Whatever.
I doubt I know much more than... Your performance tonight...
I'm sure they've known about me. To be honest, I'm shocked it's taken them this long to... And what about...
None of these mecha have seen... I can only conclude that some power...
What? Your point being that they're out of Spina di Rosula's league, then?
Yes. Be careful, and do not act rashly.
I will continue investigating, no matter... Regardless.
I do not think that they'll strike again anytime soon.
Right. I suppose that's the best news we...
Demoiselle, I believe that Miss Chlorand was being sincere with you. If we tried, we could attempt to thaw relations.
I know, I just... She's...
Oh, thank goodness! Paimon thought we were done for! Those Gardamex came out of nowhere while you were unconscious, and Nadia and her gang saved us! Oh, and there was that champion duelist named Chlorand.
Oh, come now. Forget all that polite talk. That wasn't really a farewell meal we had back there. Not for me, anyway. In truth, I hope that, as such, we're still partners.
It will take 50 years for me.
If it were me, I would have joined these...
Oh? Actually, Navia, how did you know that we were in danger?
Well, to be honest...
Huh? Really? Paimon contributed somehow? Ooh, Paimon's even more amazing.
Yes, all thanks to you grabbing my drink by mistake. After we parted ways, I was on the way back to one of our... That the Fanta tasted kind of... Fanta? Only...
So the Fanta had been spiked with water from the primordial sea?
Yes. So, if you hadn't drunk that cup for me...
Spina di Rosula is preparing the crap.
Huh. Really?
I sent people to Hotel de... That's when I figured out that you...
But why would...
Well... You did foil a plan that they were probably pretty... Speaking of which, Did anything strange happen when you drank the primordial seawater?
Well, it can't be a coincidence that the traveler fainted just now. He said that he heard that voice calling for Vache again. Oh, and this time Paimon heard it. Does that mean...
That doesn't sound like too much of a bad thing.
New intel?
Well, let's hear... Oh. Vache. Since he saw that, but he never gave testimony or any... Yes, thank you. Oh, you mean...
Well, you did. And besides, we're in this now.
Demoiselle, do try not to look quite so...
You talk too much. Well, and we also have some plans to go...
Don't worry, you two. With us around, our base is definitely secure.
Wheel of Life.
It's right up ahead, but let's make sure we weren't fall.
I've been keeping watch, Demoiselle. I haven't spotted any...
Very good.
I shall find room.
Thank you, Malus. Now.
Faster? Okay, faster. This is your base? It's not quite what Paimon imagined.
Your accommodations have been arranged.
After all, we don't allow illegal or unethical profiteering. In fact, our funds often come...
Seems like it's tough...
To be honest...
Your father...
Demoiselle, if you'll allow me...
No. I'll explain it myself. I suppose I couldn't run from this topic forever. And, as partners, this is something I hope they can understand. My father's name is Callus. Yes, the same one they call Callus the Unfaithful in the streets. 3 years ago, he was accused of murdering his own friend. But he chose a...
Oh no!
But I do not believe... At the time, but strangely, that even after being seriously injured, to the point where he could be deemed as having lost the duel, he refused to surrender, determined to die in the arena. 3 years... How could he protect his honor? The closest piece of info I have is that my father had been investigating the serial disappearances.
Ah, so that's why...
That's right. However, I must know what really happened. If only he'd been more open with me when he was still alive. He even hid the fact that... And now, here I...
Demoiselle, please.
I also will never believe that Master Callus murdered anyone. Master Callus did so much good in life, yet all it took was one murder case for him to be done. Even our supporters decreased greatly due to that incident, hence our strained finances.
Wait, if Callus was such a good man...
No. Perhaps people just revel in that kind of drama. People love watching the evil turn over a new leaf, but they also enjoy watching good people fall into an abyss from one slip-up just as much.
But how could... never mind. If Callus was really falsely accused, we have to find the truth. He didn't deserve to have that happen to him.
There is one other thing. Master Callus's opponent in the duel was Ms. Clorand.
Oh, her? Well, then, yeah. That's not the sort of thing that you can just let go and move on from.
Ms. Clorand, she knew Master Callus before there was...
It's not that...
Don't worry, Navia.
Afterward, Ms. Clorand told her, yes, that is our understanding.
Oh, all right. Anyway, that's the thanks.
Yeah.
Please, relax and get some sleep. We will ensure you rest soundly.
Paimon slept, huh? Navia? Where did the...
I sent them back to Poisson. It's Spina de Rosula's place of origin, and where we have our head...
Paimon gets the feeling that you're just... but...
No, I just returned after going out for a while.
Wait, so you didn't...
How could I, Unfortunately, this name seems to have been... I suspect that...
Does that mean we're too late, though?
No. There is one ray of hope. One place, and that is the archives kept by Chief Justice Neuvillette. A place where detailed files on if the Oceanid...
So Neuvillette, in that case, let's go
Aren't
you coming along, Navia? Did you get tired?
No, it's nothing. Let's go see the Honorable Chief Justice. The Palais is right up ahead. Come on.
Halt! Please state your business here. The Chief Justice is presently occupied with official matters.
Huh. This place does look pretty heavily guarded. Guess that proves that Neuvillette's files are really secure.
Hey, don't you recognize us?
Huh? Who are you? Just to be clear, I don't care who you are or who you might be related to. Our rules make no exceptions.
See? They've got great discipline, too.
Yep. Paimon can tell.
If you're here just to crack jokes, I can point you towards the exit. Unlike some, we're busy, so please...
No. What I meant to say is...
Oh, yes, I remember. I read about it in the Steambird. You must be Linny's attorneys.
We're here today to report...
Is that even...
Of course. Don't worry. We're here on official business. You can trust us.
All right then, I'll let you through. The Chief...
Thank...
Please come in.
Sorry to barge in, Monsieur Nervalet. We only lied to get in because we didn't know any other way.
It's all right. Please let me know how I may be of assistance to you.
So you're not mad at us?
We're looking for a man called Vache. He may have been an eyewitness in the serial disappearances case. If we can find him, we may be able to unearth some key information on the case.
Ah, I see. In that case, please wait here a moment while I browse through the files.
Who knew that Nervalet would be so easy to talk to?
Unfortunately, I'm quite certain that there are no records of him either.
Traveler? What?
Is that so?
Ahem. Miss Navia, I can understand how you feel. Your father, Callus, was a truly exceptional man. We deeply regret his passing.
And what are you trying to say, Monsieur Neuvillette? Are you trying to console me? Extend your sympathy? Or just express some tendril of regret? No. You are not trying to do any of that. I can hear it in your voice. It's just like last time. You even told me then that in your eyes, the value... If you truly regret, why didn't you give me the power to stop everything? Was hanging on a thread at that moment. There are still so... If you really have no heart, then just look me in the eyes.
I'm sorry, Miss...
You and my father... It's not so much... Oh well. My apologies for taking my emotions out on you, Monsieur Chief Justice. Let's go, Traveler and Paimon.
Navia, are you okay?
I'm fine.
You're right.
Now that I think of it,
What is it? Did you think of something?
Yeah, he was outside. It was uncovered and that thought has occurred to us before. We've even expanded the search area to try to account for that, but didn't find anything of value. Oh? Wait.
So you're saying that the true murderer could have been turned into water? And then got washed away with the rain? Yeah. And if that's what...
I really think I found a true genius for a partner. All right, let's go to...
Yeah, we're gonna make...
Do you want to go with me now? Great. Let's go then.
place like this?
There's no need to be so surprised. While it may look like a ship, it's actually Spina di Ros. My father was the one who asked for it to be. A gigantic and glamorous ship embodies discovery, opportunity, ambition, and conquest. It symbolizes Spina di Rosula's bright and...
And Paimon thought you were bluffing when you... Paimon was confused why a group with such a history would live in the sewers. But now that Paimon has seen this ship for herself, she's been convinced.
Well, pues some...
Behold! Yep. They might have it good. You're gonna get but
Maloose, we're back!
Apologies for the wait. You said before that you still had some...
You still remember, right?
Yes, the case was quite similar to that.
Could you tell us a bit more about what happened before?
Yeah, of course. Many years ago, something called At a Glance...
Wait!
Yes, he did. If you drink sin, and if you were to stop, as he oversaw was...
Boss is uncompromising. Not only that...
Yes. Recognizing that, the man's name was that night. But then, we heard 2 gunshots from the...
Huh? How did that happen?
Sounds just like Lenny. Looking back on it, though, Precisely. It's all... But, considering it now, you're right.
Jacques was an empathetic man who was infinitely remorseful for his past actions. It's unlikely that he turned... I think this... On that note, however... Even though this... Our opponent is insidious and cruel. Even though Spina di Rosu, there is no need to follow your...
If that's indeed what he wished for, then he should have told me that himself. Was I not the closest person to him? And yet, I was the one most kept in the dark. What was the point of him dying without sharing any of the secrets he knew? Synth is still here. Callus the Unfaithful. Did he think I'd just I've never accepted that. Ever. Not since... I want to find out the real answer for everyone.
Navia.
This is indeed...
So you do know something else, Maloose?
Yes, I do. In fact, even before that banquet, Boss already knew of the connection between... But what drove all the...
What?
And the serial disappearances case caused him great anxiety. 5 years was nowhere near enough time to resolve this long-standing conflict. Knowing all of this, he decided to use one final intimidation tactic. But as long as you remained safe, he would not share the evidence. If something were to happen to you, then he and all those he told would immediately expose all they knew about Synth and the disappeared victim.
Right. So nobody would be able to get off.
As we've seen, Boss's tactic has worked. Even though Boss has been gone for a long time, the other side has not tried to take Demoiselle's life.
No, I don't believe it. He never appeared to look sick to me.
No father wants their daughter to see them weak and haggard, especially someone as proud as Boss. To him, dying in a duel and suffering lasting dishonor